welcome everyone. Welcome to tonight's session. I'm going to be sharing my screen in a minute. But firstly, I just need to get a few of us. Let's get that energy high before we go to our experience. Okay, so let's just quickly share my screen. If you can't see my screen, just give me a thumbs up. All right. Awesome. Now let's just start the slideshow. Just give me a minute. A minute. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce the first name. Now, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Um, okay. Now, before I go on, just so that I can get to know who I'm talking to or who are people on this call, can you guys just quickly help me introduce yourself? Just three simple things: your name, where you're joining from, and what's your current. Okay, Emmanuel, you can't see my screen. Oh, is that a general problem, please? If you can see my screen, just give me a thumbs up, please. Let me know that's general. Okay, so redhead can't see my screen. Manuel, that might be your network. If you go back to my screen, so that might be. Sorry about this. Okay, so please in the chat box, I just want you guys to just quickly introduce yourself. Say something like this: your name, where you're joining from, and what you currently do. Okay. Or if you don't want to tell me currently with just your name and your location would be perfect. All right. So your name and location is perfect. For me, I'm Ephraim. I'm based in Abuja, and I'm currently a senior data associate. Okay, nice to meet you, Pius. Nice to meet you now. Hi, Joey. Nice to meet you. Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome. Now, a colleague of mine just posted a link in the chat box. It's the link to our attendance. Okay. So I need you guys to please help me fill up that link. Once you fill up the link at the end of today's session, you'll be able to get the recording. So if you aren't able to follow through with what I'm doing or what I'm talking about tonight, after you can go through the recording and do it on your own. Also, the slides I am using tonight will be sent to you. Now, on that form, we are going to get your email addresses. So it's from that email that we are going to send these particular things. Okay. Nice to meet you, Toby. Nice to meet you, everyone. Nice to meet you, everyone. Now, for tonight, we are going to be talking about building websites with AI. So at this point, I'm not looking for the overly technical people. Whether you're into tech, you started building things already, whether you do not, don't worry. At this point, we are all on the same level. We're going to be using no code or low code tools. Okay. Now, before I go on, if you're on this call right now, which one of these is your priority? Okay. Entering this 2026, I know we're just in the second quarter, but what is your priority right now? It's like you want to be able to work from home, you want to increase your income significantly in 2026, you want to have more time for your family, you want to leave your current job for a much better one, you want to have more freedom with your time in 2026, or you're tired of waiting for a pay increase and you want to get something to decide which one of these is your priority. Okay, so someone in you listen all of the above. Okay, that works out great. That works out great. Okay, who else? Who else? Which one of these is your priority? Which one of these is your priority? For me, entering into this tech space, my priority was not spending on transport. I did not spend that much on transport. Whether it was fueling my car or entering public transport, I didn't spend that much. I preferred at home working with people. Okay, so Redhead wants to increase his income significantly. Give me a minute. You said your name, so let me see if I can find your name instead of Redhead. Okay, you did. It's a Redhead. It is. Who else? Who else? Is that the rest of us don't have any of these as a priority right now? Or what you want to do is very different. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, so I'm just going to take the majority of us want to actually increase our okay, number two and number six, that's from John. Instead of waiting for a pay increase, you know, so increase all of these things they apply to the majority of us. And I want to show us one of the ways we can do it just using AI. Okay, so I'm going to give us this platform or this pathway and show us some other ways that we can do it. Okay, now initially I asked what we were doing so that I could show us how we could connect it to these particular things. I don't think anyone actually puts their current jobs, but that is fine. Doesn't matter if you're a teacher, you're a banker, you're a receptionist, finance officer, engineer, warehouse clerk, lecturer, lawyer, doctor, any of these roles. It doesn't. What really matters is how creative you are. Okay, so Emmanuel says he's a creative in photography. Perfect, 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 perfect. Now, this particular meeting is for we, the creatives. Those of us that want to dream, want to make things with our hands. There are three major ways that we can do this using AI. Right? The first is with AI automation. If you joined this session earlier, you'd have heard some people talking about how they use AI automations to make things easier for them in their particular current occupations. There was a colleague disturbing, always asking for something, and she just created an automated chatbot that helps respond to that. For someone like Emmanuel that is into photography and videography, you can use AI for video content creation. Okay, so there are different tools like HeyGen, there are tools like Whisper AI. All these things will help move your current work from being, let's say, 2x to at least 20x. Okay, it goes astronomical. And the more you use it, the better. Now, the one that I like using and the one that we are going to be talking about tonight is AI for web and software development. So tonight on this session, I'm going to show us a way that I have used, so it is tested and trusted, into getting clients and actually landing these potential clients. Okay, so once again, the form is in the chat box. If you don't want to miss this, or at the end of the day, you want to follow through the steps that I am going to be presenting tonight, make sure to fill it up. It shouldn't take us more than 10 minutes to do. Okay, now who am I representing? Who is talking to? I'm representing an organization called Analytics Business. So we are a leading e-learning platform designed to help organizations across the world empower their teams with a wide array of professional development options across AI, data, HR, and software development. Okay. Now, we have access to top quality courses across diverse disciplines. So Analytics Business addresses the issue of continuous learning and development needed in today's fast-paced business environment. If you've been looking at your social media, you'll notice how quickly technology advances right now, with one AI model going over the next AI model and things being done better and faster. So this is what Analytics Business is here to help you do. Instead of being left indoors, you get advanced to the correct stage. Okay, now who am I? My name is Ephraim once again. If you weren't here, emails and introduce myself. My name is Ephraim Malade. And I have been in this space for quite a while. I had a background in electrical and electronics engineering. And using that, I started programming. So electrical and electronic engineering, started programming, decided to dive into more things like machine learning so that the particular job bots, I call them bots, particular bots I do can actually be adapting to real life scenarios, real life situations, and all of those things. So I learned machine learning, then data analysis, and I kept going forward. Now, in the past, let's say 5 years, AI has been a force all around us. Okay, if you haven't really known about it, maybe it was last year started hearing about it. AI has been a force. So I didn't want to get left behind. Started learning more about it and building my brand. Now, currently, I work as a senior associate for AI and software development here at Analytics Business. Okay, so by the end of today, you decide to join us, which I really hope, We are going to be seeing my face in class and we'll be working together. Now, after tonight, what do I want to provide for you? What value do I want to make sure we get? First thing is, I want you to build an exciting AI project and learn how to monetize it. You guys are actually even going to be giving me hypothetical value for what we are going to be building tonight. Second thing is, I want you to position yourself for success in the AI job market. As I said, there are a lot of things going on right now, a lot of advances, a lot of different methods people are using. So I want you to know how to best position yourself. And then with that, let us get started. Okay, so I'm not going to waste much of our time. We're going to quickly go into building what we have for tonight. This is just telling us how recurring income can be built with AI systems. So it's not a tool, it's an automation system. That means when you are not even right there, it's going to be working for you. So when you come back, it just helps you get it. You just have to make one or two changes to it. Okay, now with all of these being said, let's dive into today's session. Before I go on, once again, a colleague of mine just dropped the attendance form in the chat box. Please and please make sure you fill it up, okay? If you know how to do what we are doing tonight. All right. So give me a minute. I am going to share my screen. Sorry. Okay. So once you can see my screen again, give me a thumbs up. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, so Emmanuel can see my screen. Okay. Now, as promised at the beginning of this program, I said I'm going to teach you how to make websites with no code or no. Okay, but before making the websites, you need to first understand who you are making the websites for, how you want to use this to get one, right? I think that's the most important thing for everyone right here. You don't just want to learn how to do these things, you want to know how to apply it into keeping us. If you're only giving it thumbs up, if you're not giving it thumbs up, let me know whether you have other plans or just the okay. So Emmanuel goes. Now, the most common and underrated way, trust me, it's very underrated, is using this publicly available thing called Google Maps. Now, in Google Maps, just go to your website, sorry, your web browser and type Google Maps. First link, click on the first link, and it gives you the map of the entire country. Now, if your system or your phone is already connected to your location, it will give you for that your particular state. Now, in that your state, everyone knows the major things that are trending in their particular areas. If you don't really know, there are a lot of things that you'll be seeing online. Come to that particular state. For me, let's say I want to check for Lagos because Lagos has a lot of businesses. So I want to pick or I want to key into this particular sector called real estate. And why am I picking real estate? They have a lot of beautiful pictures because pictures are what make websites for. If you've seen a lot of websites that are just blank, you won't see a lot of pictures, you won't see a lot of interactions and all of that. So I want to look for real estate companies in Lagos. Once I search for this in Google Maps, I'm going to get a list of real estate companies. You can see there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. Now, depending on your niche, if you wanted to look for textile industries in Lagos, or let's say Kaduna, since Kaduna has a lot of textile industries, or you wanted to look for shoe industries in Kano, it doesn't matter. Okay, so pick a particular industry that you think you will be able to handle, you think you'll be able to provide the most value for. Now, take note of that word, value. That is what we want to provide for these people. And we want them to be sure that that is what we are doing. So I'm just going to check through. And you can see that there are a few of these companies that have websites. Okay, so a few of them have websites, but quite a lot of them also do not have websites. I'm key into those that don't have websites. So I'm just going to check through about 3 of them, and whichever one piques my attention, I'm going to just quickly build something for them and email it to them. Now, why is this method very, very useful? Before, when people were saying something about cold emailing or reaching out to potential clients. They do these things with the expectation of, oh, I already have a portfolio, or I have things that I have built in the past. So this might be able to convince this customer. But if you want to take it a step further, how about if you provide them with a sample and be like, okay, this is something I built in just a few minutes. I went through the site. I don't have your official images, but imagine if I had everything from you working together, how much better would this? This gives them that interest. Okay, so we want to provide value, and after providing value, we want to grab their interest. So this particular one, let's see, Silos. Let's check through all their images. If we can see about 4 images that we like, we can create something for them. So, okay, I'm not saying something that I really like right here. I'm not saying something I really like right here. It's a good thing they have their logos here so that will make things easier if us to use them. Let's go to for properties. Okay. Now, once again, you might be having network issues during this session. It's normal. But in Nigeria, we understand how internet service providers behave. It doesn't matter. But at the end of this session, we are going to be sending to you the recording of it. So if you don't want to miss it, please ensure you fill in that feedback. Okay, so they have a 3D rendering of one of their properties right here. I could work with this, but I need something else. Okay, exactly what I want. All right, I think this, no. Okay, let's go through another one. As I said, we are going to be looking at 4 different ones. Whichever I prefer from them, we will choose. Sorry, I picked the wrong thing. Okay, it's just a straight view for that. We checked for, let's see. Ascariots. Okay. So Ascariots, I think this is okay with me. Very good, very good. So I have their logo right here. Sorry, I'm just going to move this over to the edge. I have their logo right here, and I have an actual image from them. These 2 things are going to make like very, very. So first of all, let me grab this their logo. Okay, I'm going to grab their logo. Save this in the screenshots, and let me also grab this particular picture. Oh, you know what? I just need their logo. Now, the tool that is going to help us cook. I'm so sorry about that right there. As I mentioned before, we're in Nigeria. It's understandable if our network is behaving annoying. But please and please ensure you get the recording, ensure you fill in that feedback. So as I was saying, the tool that we're going to use to cook tonight, very, very easy tool to use. It's called Lovable. So Lovable AI. Lovable AI. If you just click this, sorry, is it from my end? If you guys can hear me clearly, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that it's from my end. Okay, so Bernard can hear me, John can hear me. Okay, so that might not be from my end. Freddie, if you have a question, don't worry, I'll take questions at the end of the session. But anything you want to say to me, just use the chat box. Okay, I'll be communicating with you. Right. Right. Now, the AI tool we are going to use tonight to build our website is called Lovable AI. Lovable AI. Now, all you need to do is just search for Lovable AI. The first thing that comes up, click on it. Okay, click on it. Now, about vibe coding, about building with no code, low code tools. What makes it so sweet? What makes it so good is that you are not learning different programming languages. All you need to learn is simple communication. The way I'm talking to you, the way you are replying to me, we text simple communication is all you to do. And it will help you build what you want. Now, after getting into Lovable like this, just log in. Okay, So I think I have another account in my personal account. Let me quickly use that. Okay, so Lovable, let me use my personal account. All right. Now all I have to do is just click on login and continue. If you're signing up for the first time, it's better you use continue. Yes, there is a free version of it, and it's the free version I am going to use right now to show you. That's why I switched to my personal accounts. So everything you see is everything you get. Okay, everything you see is everything you get, even if stress. There's a free version. Now just give it a minute to load up. While it's loading up, please and please do not forget to fill in the attendance form in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Welcome, Bernard. Welcome, Bernard. Don't worry, if you joined late, you haven't missed much. Okay, if you joined late, you haven't missed much. Just for the sake of getting whatever you might have missed, fill in that the attendance form. Sorry about that mistake. Now, once you open up your login, for those of us that use ChatGPT, we are already used to interfaces like this, where you just have to write in what you want to do and it gives you back. Okay, now first thing I am going to do is provide that screenshots. Okay, so that screenshot I took of the company, I am going to provide it. Why am I providing this? I want to give the website some level of personality, some level of familiarity with the people I am going to be pitching it to. Okay, so at the end of the day, I want them to see that yes, it is a website for you. It's your company's website. But before your company can do it, we need to review it. Okay, so at the end of the day, all turns to one. Right. Now, simple prompts. Using this logo, build a website for sorry, what was the industry again? I want to try and remember. Okay, real estate. For a real estate company. Something very simple. Can see just a very simple prompt. I'm not doing so much. I'm just going to send this and give it just a little time. The thing about these tools is how quickly they can deliver for you. Look at the time right now. It is 8:24. Under 5 minutes, this thing is going to finish building. Now, for those of us that are asking what is the AI I am using, it is called Lovable. Okay, so Lovable AI. All right, just search for Lovable AI. Now, we started 8:24 and it has started. I'll build a polished real estate website for Ascarius Home Limited using the red logo dark palette. Let me set up, and it has started working. Okay, so let's just keep the next time. Next time, under 5 minutes, which have provided something very good for me. Now, while this is going on, please and please, if you haven't filled up the attendance form, maybe you don't want to miss whatever I was saying, just quickly go into the chat box right now. The colleague of mine has sent it. So just go click the link. It shouldn't take you anything more than 2 minutes. You finished. Okay. By the time you're done, when you get back, you'd have seen the beautiful website this thing will provide. And let's just give it a few minutes. Now, after it builds the website, very good, thank you, Redhead. After it builds the website, there are two things I'm going to show you. The first is we are going to be using Lovable's own deployments. This sounds like big English, but what deployments means is giving you that website link that you can use to view it anywhere you are. So we are going to be using Lovable's own just to show this to you guys. Then I am going to be using something called Vercel. Vercel is just a company that helps people deploy their web app and websites. Okay. Now, why am I not using Lovable's own throughout the whole process? I want something a little bit more personalized. So when they see it, they're like, oh, this actually speaks to me. So I am just going to name it based on their own organization and tell them it. Okay, so I'll show you the two ways. The first way is just using Lovable's phone. If you wanted to quickly show someone, then deploying it to Vercel, right? So we are 2 minutes down. It has 3 more minutes to not disappoint me. Okay, and you can see in 2 minutes it has said build a website. Okay, this is just previewing. Build a polished real estate website, blah, blah, blah. And let me see. A comment. Something is holding this up. Okay, it has started the preview. All right. So it's showing me the preview of the website. Now, started 8:24. This is 8:27. So in 3 minutes, it has finished building the website. And look at this. Come on, look at this. Premium real estate, building homes for the. It has already generated the background for me. I have buttons here that actually show what it is. 120 plus home signifier. And all of these must just be that main form. Okay. So with this, you have fully published websites. Okay. Now there is one question I always get. Okay, Ephraim, there are a few things I don't like in this website. For example, the phone number now. What's very good. So someone has asked this. How can you make changes to it? I always get that question. I always get that question. And let me tell you one thing. It is the same way you told it to build a website in the first place. So let's say this email right here that says hello@ascariot.home.ke. I'm just going to copy this just to be sure I got the exact thing. I am going to say change this email to hello at new websites. Now, why I'm making the name entirely new is so that you can see it. Okay. Then let's make another change. Also change the office to Lagos, Nigeria. Okay. So these two changes. You didn't get what I said about it. Don't worry, I'll get back into it. I'll get back into it. Now I'm just going to send that, and it has started thinking. Okay. What it's going to do now is to search through this entire website, and let's see, is there another place I mentioned email? If there's another place I mentioned email, this have changed that. Okay, it did. So it's only in that particular place. Now it's going to change this, and it's going to change the office. You can see right before our eyes, it changed the email to hello at new website and the office to Lagos, Nigeria. So immediately, if they have something they want to change, what is that? And now, this is the part I was talking about deploying the website. So I've created the website right now, but I can't go and tell them, you didn't prompt it to change the number. No. Don't worry, I can't prompt it to change the number. Let's just have something. Now, when I go to speak to that particular agency, I can't just go and tell them, oh, I built a website for you, but it's working on my computer. No one is going to give you a time of day for that. Everyone wants things to be done quickly. They don't waste time. They want their interactions fast and easy, right? So that is where deployment comes into play. I want to create a link. Okay, I want to create a link to the websites that I can share to them and tell them, okay, see this particular thing. And for Lovable, it has its own deployment. I'm just going to come up here and click publish. Okay, now in publish, I'm just going to say continue and continue. Just give it a minute. Just going to publish the website. Now, when I'm done publishing the website, I will send the link to the chatbot so that you guys can actually interact with websites yourselves. It's not going to be a situation of, oh, he was bamboozling me, oh, he was lying to me. You will see it and interact with it yourself. Okay, so Redhead can't see my screen. If you can see my screen, please just give me a thumbs up. Let me know if it's network on their end or mine. Okay, so it's not from my end. Sorry, Redhead. It's probably the network. What you might want to do is just quickly leave the call and join back in. It's persistence. Okay. So let's just give it a few minutes to publish. Now, while that is going on, okay, Before I send that, I saw a few questions in the chat box. Let me check them. Now, how do you edit it in case you are changing a few things? Very, very good. Now, if you want to change a few things, like I just showed us, the most common method, the method that I like using is just copying and pasting that particular phrase you want to change. Or if you want to add a particular picture somewhere or something like that, you can always just take a screenshot and tell it to change the picture. Okay, so all that is very easy. We're just going to be using normal language to communicate with it. Okay, now is it the same way you prompted? Yes. Okay, so I think that has been answered already. Now let me send the link to it, to the chat box, so that we can interact with it. Okay, now you guys can just click on this link and interact with the website itself. So I just clicked on it and it's going up. Sorry, I am going to take questions at the end of the session. For now, you can drop your hands, don't worry. But if you have anything pressing you want to communicate to me, just use the chat box. As you can see, I'm interacting with you guys. Right. Now you can see it is right here, all for them to see. And I built it in how many minutes? We started 8:24, this is 8:32. The website was already done by 8:27, if I remember correctly. So 3 minutes we built the website. We used the remaining to just chat and check a few things and generate the link. And now easily, very, very easily, we can now come back to our Google Maps. Remember, Coco is getting money. The Coco is getting money. And come back to our Google Maps and just check for their contact information. So where is that thing? Where is that thing? Okay, see, we have their phone number right here. Now, some other companies might provide their email addresses. That works best. But with a phone number, you can just do a cold call to them. You can send them a WhatsApp text. It doesn't matter. Okay, the people is who have gotten this easily and quickly. And now, imagine you had to do it for a bunch of different companies. How much you can be raking in, week out, year in, year out. You can see that there is massive potential. We didn't like when we tell you we're going to show you how to do these things easily. Massive potential. Okay. I also promised us one thing. There was one thing I promised us, and that was the second group of the drawing. So repeat me. This particular link that I sent, if you notice, it's not so attractive. I don't really like the link. Look at it. What's the name? Next Nook Forge.app. It's not sweet in the mouth like that. It's not sweet in the mouth like that. If I wanted to make it sweeter, I wanted to give it a better name, or at the end of the day, when we are working, excuse me, with this organization, they're like, okay, we want to change the name to our company name itself. The easiest and the best way to do this is using Vercel. Now, Vercel is an application that is meant for deploying your websites. Okay, so Vercel. But before you go to Vercel, you have to go through the process with GitHub. Now, if you've been in the technical space in any capacity at all, you know what GitHub is. A brief rundown is GitHub is just think of it as Google Drive, but for developers. That's the easiest way I can explain GitHub. So if you write code or you do anything technical and you want to find a way to allow people collaborate with you or share it with other people across the globe. Okay, so it's not even a matter of Nigeria. Across the globe, we use GitHub. Now I have connected this to my GitHub already. Oh, it has disconnected. So I'm just going to reconnect it to my GitHub. And from that, I will deploy it to Vercel. Sorry, give me a minute. Here we go. My network was acting up a bit. Okay, so I was connected before it disconnected. All right. And here at the bottom, if you can see my screen, at the bottom, it says Home Sweet Home site synced view on GitHub, meaning it has already helped me deploy it to my GitHub. Sorry, not deploy, push it to my GitHub. I'm not going to mix in so many technologies, but it has totally pushed everything to GitHub. And once I open my GitHub, you will see it here. So all the code that it has written for you. If you're a technical person and wanted to use AI to just help you build a scaffold, okay, just that base design, you have all the code right here, and you can tweak it on your own, okay? So you can make changes on your own, but it's best if you just continue using the AI to help you do it. For me, it's faster, it's easier. I don't have to start learning the entire code base and all of that sweet things, okay? But right here, you can see all the code is here for me. Now, all I have to do is just go to Vercel. So vercel.com, and from there, I can deploy it. All right, is that a question or is it time? Okay, sorry, John, once again. Please, what is it you connected? I connected my GitHub. So let me send it in the chat. GitHub. Okay. The link to register so you get access. Very good. My colleague should send it in a minute, but let me just send it once more. Give me a minute. So I'm just going to copy and paste it in the chat box. Okay. Now, while I was doing that, there seems to be an issue with my network. So let me just review it. And very good, very good. So all I have to do to deploy it, this step I'm going to be a little bit fast, just a little bit fast, a little bit fast. First thing I'm doing is I'm coming right here to where it says add new. Okay, so I'll click on add new and I'll click on projects. Since it's a project on my GitHub already, it is going to automatically be here. Here it says import Git repositories. So that's to tell me it has already connected to my GitHub. I don't need to stress myself about it. Now, at this stage, this is another question people always ask. Now, if we have created the website on Lovable, we have pushed it to our GitHub, and now we are deploying it to Vercel. All of these things, if I wanted to make the change on my Lovable, would this reflect on the website I get from Vercel? The answer is yes. And just to show you that, you can see that everything was connected immediately and seamlessly without me having to take too many passwords and all of that. Everything worked seamlessly and easily. So I'm just going to deploy it. Give me a minute. Instead of Nest Look4j, I said I didn't like the name. Let's give it, what's the name of the website? Ascariot Homes, is that name? Yes, so Ascariot Homes. I'm just going to copy this. I like copy and pasting. Oh, sorry. Ascariot Homes. I just remembered it doesn't accept caps. So Ascariot _homes, and I'm going to deploy it. Now, all these things that I'm doing, that I'm just clicking one or two buttons, is the maximum technical thing we are going to be doing. That is why I said go through. Right now, we're not even writing code. We're just using the particular websites. So this is the maximum technical thing we are going to be doing. Just remembering all these particular processes. Now, once again, if you joined late, you had network issues, or you are really, really interested in doing this on your own spare time, don't forget to fill in that attendance form. Okay, don't forget. All right, now let's just give it a minute to finish the deployment, and we will get the link. Okay, so it has finished building, but it's completing the deployment, and I'm just waiting for it to keep me into the dashboard. Now, looking here, look at this domain. If I click on it, it takes me to the same website. But the name now is far cleaner than what I got when I was working with Lovable. Look at it, ascariothomes.vercel.com. It is clean, it is good, it is sweet. The second edge, apart from this clean name, is if I got a custom name that I wanted to use for it, I can just come down here and say add custom name. Okay, and just come down here and say add custom domain. All right. Now we've gone through how we can do these applications. We've gone through how all these things work. Let's go to how I can help you guys to do it. And instead of just doing it this simple way, how to build more complex things using AI. Okay, so not just websites, web applications as a whole. Right. After that, let's just quickly go back to the trusty slides. Okay, now we've gone through making everything. Sorry, instead, just keep me this. Let me stop presenting and let me share the screen. Just one minute, so sorry. And there we go. Okay, so if you can see my screen, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know whether everything went seamlessly. Very good, very good. There's nothing distracting us, right? That's what I wanted to ensure. Now we've seen how to build this particular website with AI, and it took us, by my calculations, everything. This is just under 20 minutes with the whole deployment and everything. Building the website itself took us 3 minutes. The rest of it was just making sure everything was very sweet for the pitching. Okay. Now, why does this matter? This news is very current. BBC actually posted about it. Meta is set to cut 1 in 10 jobs after spending billions on AI. So about 10% of their total workforce is going to be without jobs. That's about 80,000 people. And what this means is they are laying off tech workers that don't fit AI into their workspaces. Okay, so they are using AI to replace them. But if you, as a tech enthusiast, already knows how to implement AI in your particular toolkit, you won't be at the risk of all of this. In fact, even if they lay you off, they are going to re-employ you into a different higher paying role because you are now doing things that help them more. Okay, and this is where opportunity becomes income. All right, so they have seized the day, they have learned how to make sure that you are in the right position. All right, and this is where we come in. Sorry about that. I think there's a function. Over the past few years, 2023, 2024, 2025, we're hearing about AI, but it wasn't that deep in our faces. But right now, it's 2026. Everybody, and I mean everybody, uses AI in one way or another. The job market is no longer rewarding efforts. Okay, it is now rewarding leverage, meaning how quickly you can do these things, how much you can use AI into accomplishing their jobs more effectively and efficiently. All right. So all of these staying from 9 to 9 p.m., not getting home to 11 p.m., they are no longer rewarding. They are no longer seeing it as what they want to do. They want to use AI to just make their things go quickly like that in 3 minutes as we did. Okay, so quickly, that is what everyone wants to do. And this is an example of someone who actually followed us and he started building these things and he has actually very much benefited from it. Now, one thing about Pavel is he was a teacher back in Cameroon. He had no tech background. Okay, but he moved to the US. And after moving to the US, he joined the data analytics program and landed a job right there as a healthcare data analyst. One very good thing that Pavel did was all our weekly mentorship sessions, which I'll go into later on. He didn't miss any. Now, I think the few that he missed due to work relations and all of that, what he did was he went back to the recording. This recording that I've been mentioning, if you want to get the recording, fill in the attendance sheets. He went back to the recording of our mentorship sessions and he followed through what we're talking about there. So it's not like right here we are just going to teach you and let you know. No, we are going to mentor you. And I'll go into the details of all of those in just a minute. Okay. Now, these particular slides, if you are just tired of hearing my voice, you want to hear from Pavel himself. When you get the slides, right here where it says listen to Pavel here, if you click on it, you'll be redirected to a YouTube video where you will hear him speak. Now, another person was Judith. Okay, so Judith worked as a carer while studying in the UK. But she had a background in HR here in Nigeria. So what she wanted to do was use the background in AI and mix it with whatever she was doing so that she could get something higher paid. And she completed the 10 analytics business analysis program in March 2023. After 3 months, she landed a job as a business analyst in the US, working remotely. Now, that remotely that you're seeing here is what most of us right here in Nigeria want to do. Want to work remotely. You don't want to be going to work. I mentioned it earlier. One of the major things that I didn't want to be doing was spending as much on transportation. Whether it's fuel, whether it's going through public transportation, I didn't want to spend that much. I wanted to be working. So right here is one of the things we empower you with. And what you get here at Analytics Business is not just a one-time course, it's a lifetime value guaranteed. I will always mention it, value, and that is one thing that I really like doing. I like providing value so that later people come back and they're like, Ephraim, I enjoyed what you taught me, I've used it in this way, and it makes me feel better, it makes me feel happy. So we provide you with 8 weeks of live training, Saturdays and Sundays, 3 hours each, where an instructor comes to class and they follow you to build these particular projects. So it's hands-on. They're in front of your system, I'm in front of my system. And as I'm doing, you're doing. Much like what we did tonight, but quite slower. Okay, just a little bit slower. Tonight we have more time constraints, so I didn't want to waste so much of our time. Now, after that, you get weekly mentorship. Remember, I already mentioned about Pavel. He attended all the mentorship sessions. You need to ensure you attend these mentorship sessions because just knowing the skill isn't enough. Knowing how to monetize that skill is where everything comes into play. So these weekly mentorship sessions, they help you with these things. We have it once a week on Thursday by 9 to 10 p.m. So 1 hour session where you get personal guidance from career experts from different professions. Okay. Now, after that, you get a capstone hackathon project. After you've built the project in class, you build a project on your own, building your own confidence and deploying it to your portfolio. All right. So we also offer CV review and revamping, LinkedIn optimization, up profile setup, interview preparations, job reference letter, on the job support, and we are ACTD accredited. Now, if you don't know what ACTD is, it's one of the American accreditations for teaching. So I don't know I've forgotten the exact meaning of the full acronym, but you can just quickly check it out. So ACTD is an American accreditation. So for you to know that we are internationally recognized, it's not in Nigeria. We want you guys to be globally positioned. We also provide you with access to our alumni community after you have finished the program. And finally, but also as equally important, technical support sessions every Tuesday. So you've had your classes on Saturday, you've had your classes on Tuesday, you've gone back to try and brush up on whatever you did. If you had any issues, every Tuesday we provide support, where it's a one-on-one interaction with your instructor and he helps you just clean up whatever. So I'm going to ask you this question. Would you let this opportunity slip? If you're not going to let it slip, I want you to give me a thumbs up. I want you to give me a thumbs up. If you are very interested in what I'm offering, I am going to let it slip. Give me a thumbs up. Very good, very good. And see a few reactions. Very good, very good. Now, all of these things, if you get them individually in different places, individually, the LinkedIn optimization, the upward profile setup, CV revamping, the mentorship sessions, the training, the preparation, reference on the job support, all of these things, if you were to go and cost them individually, it would be a little under ₦1 million. That is about $1,000. I think about $950 around that range. So it leads to under a million. But right here, for tonight, our normal prices are 250. But for tonight, we are offering 150,000 now. That is if you are paying in 3 installments. Okay, so you pay the first 50,000 now, you pay the second 50 just before we start the program, and the last 50 30 days into the program. That is if you take it in installments. Now, if you do it all at once just for tonight, you get an extra 30,000 off of that price. So 120,000 for a one-time payment. Now, how are we going to make this payment? Oh, sorry, before that, the next cohort is starting 9th May 2026, which is in 2 weeks' time. So if we were to make your payments now, in 2 weeks' time, you would see my face in your classes, and we would be going through this concept for our website building and our software building. Okay, so in 2 weeks' time, we will meet up. But for the first 5 people right here, the first 5 people right here, instead of you waiting those 2 weeks, from this Thursday, you are going to be joining our mentorship session. Now, remember, I mentioned when I was talking about Pavel, the weekly mentorship session, and how he made sure he didn't happen. You are going to get access to it immediately, not in 2 weeks' time, from this Thursday. Oh, sorry, from next Thursday. I forgot today was Friday. From next Thursday. But that is reserved only for the first 5. Now, how are you going to make this payment? There are 2 ways. The first way is just using our account details, which my colleague is going to send to the chat box right now. Okay, so let me just quickly check the chat box. Very good. So my colleague has already sent it right there to the chat box. You can send directly to our account details. Now, the second way is for those of us that are a little more tech savvy, don't want to be copying and pasting account details, or maybe it's too stressful. Just come to this link. I'm going to show us that right now. Just give me a minute. Come to this link. There are 2 reasons why I like promoting using this link. The first is it gives you an opportunity to actually browse through the courses we offer. Okay, gives you an opportunity to browse through the courses we offer. The second is it shows you how much tech inclined we are. All right, so just click on that link and it brings you to this page. It gives me in minutes. Let's just give it the minutes. Let's it go. And my letter is acting up. Let me try my other browser. My network is acting up a bit. Aha. There we go. There we go. So my network was acting up. Now let's just give this a minute. Let me see if this has finished loading up. It's coming up now. Now, when you get to this page, you can check through all the courses we offer. Now, remember when I started, I said if you're on this course, it means you are a creative. You dare to imagine. You want to build things with your hands. So the 3 courses I would personally recommend are AI, social media, and content creation. That is, if you want to be a TikToker, you want to be making anonymous YouTube channels, things like that, this is where you want to be. The second is AI automation engineering. So you want to be doing things quickly, you don't want to be stressing, repeating the same tasks over and over and over again. This is where you have it. The third is if you want to join me, you like my face, and I'll be fine, but you like my face and you want to be seeing it more often, you want to join me into making web apps, mobile applications, different software that people are going to be interacting with. This is where you want to be. So all you do is just click on enroll now. Once you click on it, it's just going to quickly ask you to create an account. I have an account, so let me just sign in. I think this is it. Just give me a minute. Okay, so let me try Okay, so I use social login for things. All right, no problem, no problem. So just fill in your first name and last name, then the email address, your phone number, and finally the password. Now the passwords need to be secure, so there are specific conditions for that. Okay, so it has to be 8 characters, one uppercase, one lowercase, and one special character. So let me just quickly confirm it and create and continue. Now, once you do that, you'll get access to where you can make the payments for the particular program. Now, this is still loading. Let me check out this site. So I don't know why my network is full here. Sorry about that. One red network that shall not be mentioned. I think they want to deal with me. But let's just see how this goes. Okay. Now, if you're like me and you're suffering from network issues, you can just quickly use the account details that my colleague, I think Janet, has provided in the chat. Now, after doing that, I need to see proof of payment so that I know the people I am working with. So you can just send me a DM using my number. This is my WhatsApp line. Just send me the proof of payment and ATM. And personally, I would make sure that Thursday's mentorship session, you are invited to it. Okay? So sign up field. I think my network is taking too long. Let me just try this one last time. I don't know what's wrong with my network. Okay, phone number already used. Okay, so that was why. Let's just give this one more minute. Very good, very good. So I have created it. And now you can see immediately it has taken me to how I can make payments. Okay. So as I said, my discount for tonight already applies on the site. You don't have to go. You're making a one-time payment, the 120,000 naira discount is already here. Now all you have to do is just come down here to choose payment plan. You choose payment plan. First thing is pick the cohort. So if you are joining me on May 9th, just click on May. Okay, if you are joining me, click on May. Then how you want to pay. If you're paying the full 120 tonight, just click this. If you want to pay in 3 installments, just click this. Either of the 2 ways, I would see with May. Now once you do that, just click on pay 120,000. You would be redirected to the Paystack page. Now from Paystack, you can pay using your card details, transfer, or USSD, whichever method is most convenient for you. All right. But still, after making that payment, ensure to send a DM. Okay? Ensure to send DM. All right. Now you can see card, transfer, USSD. So either of the 3 methods work perfectly. Okay. Now at this juncture, okay, I think I still have a few more things left for us in the slides. What you will get if you pay tonight or if you pay the first 5 people, first is access to 1 portfolio project. Second, as I've been mentioning through and through, because it is one of the most important things for us, it is getting access to the mentorship program. Okay, so getting access to knowing how to navigate this space, especially if you're entirely new with it. You need to know how to navigate it so you don't make the same mistakes others have made and learned from. Okay, now said first 5 people. So I think that is all about the slides. At this point, I will be taking questions. So if you have any questions, just raise up your hand. I'll give you the floor to unmute and I can answer. I'm just going to be taking 3 questions because a few people have started sending DMs, so I want to respond to them. So I'm just going to take 3 questions. If you have any questions, just use this raise hand icon. Okay. So Oluwadamilare has a question. I'll give you 1 minute. Let me give you access. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, Damilare, just give me. Yes. Okay. You can unmute now, Damilare. If you're saying something, I can't hear you. I can see you've unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Hear me now.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening from where I am. Thanks so much for this opportunity. My question is on the program. Like, what's the assurance
Okay.
that we will be getting a job after this program? Like, will it be like a referral from the academy, or is it after setting up the CV, our portfolio, then we are the ones job hunting by ourselves, or is there like like what's the assurance that we'll be job ready for, like,
Okay.
exactly?
Okay. Now you've mentioned two things that are very, very distinct. The first thing you mentioned was job ready, and the second thing you mentioned was referral, basically. Now, now one of those things we are going to take 100% on our head. We are going to be pushing, and that is making sure you are job ready. In job ready also has some parts on your side, meaning, as I've been saying, for Pavel, the mentorship sessions, you cannot miss them. You have to make sure you are there. Okay? So that is one of the best ways and the easiest ways we help you with this job readiness. The second is what you actually write to your mentor, helping you set up your LinkedIn, your CV, then the preparation for interviews. I know how many people, even personally, have gotten to the point of going to an interview where I was nervous and I misspoke in the interview, and that ended up costing me that particular opportunity. So, making sure that you are ready for that interview, we are going to be taking charge of all of that. But as for referrals and all of that, it is not 100%. Of course, if we see opportunities based on personal relations, yes, we could give it. But just saying that, oh, for all our students, we are going to be giving you jobs, no, that doesn't really fly. It's not feasible. Okay. So does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'll just quickly mute up. John Ayodele, your hand is raised. You can unmute. Let me answer the question.
Good
Sorry,
evening.
sorry, before you go on, there is a
Okay.
Victory that sent me a text. So, sorry, Victory, if you're still on the call, you haven't, you didn't send the complete text. I think you forgot to send the attachment. So, please, Victory, if you're still on the call, understand this. Thank you. Now, Johnny, go on.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Uh, yeah. Sorry. During the class, when you about the website that you helped, you gave a this thing about. Sorry, I want to ask. The first app was the Lovable app, where you said is can be paid for and is free, right?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes,
Then second, we move to the GitHub, right?
yes, exactly.
Sorry, I want to know if that one too is a free app or is something we have to subscribe for. Then to the last one, that was the Vercel.
So everything I've shown us tonight is the free versions. Okay, so GitHub and Vercel are totally free. But everything I showed us tonight was totally free. Okay, so
So
I used the free versions of everything.
okay,
Lovable has a
sorry.
paid version, yes, but it was free that I used. So the free version I used.
Okay, so last question on the my what you thought was I want to know if how was the because there was a glitch. I couldn't hear where you were saying about the connection on the GitHub. I think there. There was how you like
Okay,
connected from the lovable straight to the GitHub. I didn't get that part.
okay. So that is into technical. It's basically just the click of a button. All right. Now I can't go back into the details of this because we are out of time. But if you filled in the attendance form, I think Janet just sent it. You would get the recording of it, so you can go back and check it. But it was just the click of a button. You don't have to stress too much. Once you created your GitHub account, one click of a button, you can comment everything. Okay. So I am not seeing any more hands raised. So I'm guessing there are no more questions. But while we are still on the call, while I still have your attention, I have just 2 more slots left. So I have gotten 3. I am not counting Victory's slot because he or she hasn't sent the receipt. Just gave me the notification that they have paid. So I have 2 slots left. So once again, let me send my number to the chat box. You can just send me a message, with the payment receipt, and I will personally ensure that on Thursday you join the mentorship session. I'm saying it once again because trust me, the mentorship session is one you do not need to miss. Especially if you are new to this space. You don't want to keep making the same mistakes you made out. Okay, so ensure you join this session, right? Now, are you having access to just one particular course? Whichever of the courses you pick, okay, not all of them. Whichever of the courses you pick, you have access to that particular. All right. All right. So I do not think there are any more questions. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys tonight. I'm just going to stop the recording here and call it a night. Okay. So I'm expecting to see more DMs. I'm really hoping to see some faces in class when we start on the night of May. So good night, everyone.